Welcome to Reckless, from Wildflower Rooted and Reckless, the podcast where Angela Walker sets dumpster fires and lets her light shine. Unafraid of hard conversations, this is where perspectives are challenged, minds are opened, and respect is the rule. Because agree to disagree is more than a motto.
Welcome to another episode of Reckless from the Wildflower Rooted and Reckless podcast. I am Angela Walker, and this is episode 7. This is episode 7. One more episode for this season, and then I am going to be on hiatus for the holidays, and I will be back the beginning of the year. This has definitely been a fun start to this whole thing. So today I want to talk about Erika Kirk, who she is, what people are saying about her, the whispers, the criticisms, the support. I just want to think out loud about what this means for us, like women, being a public figure, grief, authenticity, judgments. Just some quick transparency. I am not here to take sides or bash. I am here to explore. Let's start by getting the baseline of who is Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk is a former, I didn't know this, but she is a former beauty pageant winner. She was Miss Arizona, which I love me some Arizona, in 2012, and she is an entrepreneur. She actually has, I believe it is a clothing line. It's called Proclaim. Okay. So Erika married Charlie Kirk. For those of you that aren't familiar with Charlie Kirk, he did those like debates where he would say like, prove me wrong. And he just basically encouraged communication and debates. He was tragically assassinated about a month ago, September 10th, at a campus event. After his death, Erika became the CEO and chair of Turning Point USA, which is a major conservative student organization. I can't even imagine. I mean, I guess she has that entrepreneurial spirit. She did the whole Miss Arizona thing. So she's used to being in the spotlight and she's used to having to be a decision maker. So, it was probably a bit natural for her. And she was probably Charlie's biggest fan. So it does seem like a very natural step into that. I know people have questioned some of that as well. So let's delve into what people are saying. You've basically got two subsections. You've got the supportive perspectives and then the like critique and controversies. So some of the supportive perspectives, that Erika's public forgiveness of her husband's accused killer. At the memorial, she said, "The answer to hate is not hate. Love for our enemies." That is big. That is huge. I have been working through this Bible study in Rooted, and it's talking about grace and mercy. I want to think that I could walk through something like that with the same amount of grace, but I don't know. I can tend to have that vengeful heart and like, oh, if you killed my husband, I want to think that I could have that kind of grace, but I would really have to work for it. But I do think Charlie knew that his life was in danger. I mean, how could he not, right? He was talked about such controversial things and people are wild and ate up. So of course there had to be some part of him that was worried that there could be some sort of retaliation. I mean, maybe not like this, but something. And to be perfectly honest with you, I really think that Erika's ability to forgive the shooter is endearing. It's endearing. And you know what? It might have been, maybe it starts with words. We don't know her personally. We're not reading her diaries. Maybe those words were her first step in forgiveness. Maybe 20 minutes prior to that show, she was going through in her head all the things she wishes would happen to that person. Maybe. right? And by the time she got up there and delivered that speech, she had had a change of heart, or she just knew she had to take that step. So I'm not going to judge that. That's just crazy to sit there and pick her apart like that in the midst of something so incredibly tragic. I don't care who you are or what you believe. Anytime a human being is shot in a group of people, period, but let alone the fact that it was plastered all over social media to be watched and relived over and over again. I don't know that there is a right or wrong way to respond or act after that. And it's always going to be tragic. Always going to be tragic. I don't care who you are. So the other side of this is that many people admire her strength, her stepping into this leadership role, and her willingness to stay visible. That one for sure. Okay. Her willingness to stay visible. I would be cocooned up. I'd be wrapped up in my comforter in my bed. My friends would be like clearing junk to get to me, to unravel me, to like drag me through my house. I think I was, oh gosh. And that girl she keeps showing up. She keeps showing up. Talk about the heart of a lion. I think what I've really enjoyed watching with Erika is her support system. She has an incredible support system, and you can tell she is so incredibly loved. She really is handling this entire situation with such grace and dignity. That's the biggest for me. Her dignity, like she is truly letting God's light shine through her. She is cracked and broken right now, and she just keeps showing up. Now, on the other side of this, there are people that claim her public behavior, such as hugging others, hugging men, for example, her emotional speeches, her role switch feels performative or rushed. That's the biggest one that I've read, is people just feeling like she's moving too quickly. A lot of people are accusing her of fake tears, alligator tears, fake tears. She's just like, there's no actual tears. She's just blotting her eyes. Are we kidding right now? Are we fucking kidding right now? That's what we're going to go for? That's what we're going to worry about. That's what we're looking at. Let's be real here, okay? Watch how she hugs people. It's incredible. Did you know that hugging people is normal? Like, it's not weird, as it turns out. Hugging people, embracing someone, okay? Embracing someone. Try it. If you think that the way she hugs people is weird, go embrace somebody. Go give it a try and see how you feel and see how the other person feels. Here's the thing. I'm not a huge hugger. I'm very awkward. If you've ever seen the movie Step Brothers, they're just like, you know, like I have to be I'm an intentional hugger. There are people in my life. My little brother is a great example. I will hug the crap out of my baby brother. I realize now people are going to make this weird, but anyway, I know I am safe with him. I enjoy hugging him. My husband, obviously, my father as well. I'm focusing on the men's side because this is in response to a huge uproar I've seen recently where Erika hugged JD Vance and people lost their minds, and all the memes of like his wife sitting by and watching, which first off, if you're sitting there behind a screen and you're making memes about a newly widowed single mother embracing the man of a family who has been there, what? What if that were your wife? Would you not want somebody strong to be there for her? Or are we just so perverted in society that we can't even hug somebody, we can't even embrace somebody without it turning into something sexual? Everything is sexual. Like, obviously, because she embraced him and put her hand on his cheek, she wants to bang him. That's definitely what's happening there. Get a grip. For God's sakes. Get a hold of yourselves. Okay? And but this expert said, bullshit. Okay, bullshit. I don't care what the expert said. There's somebody out there that's going to contradict that expert that's also an expert. Pick an expert, I guess. But I mean, don't pick an expert. Use your critical thinking skills. Use your common sense. Realize that there is an entire world, universe outside of yourself. Maybe if you hugged somebody like that, you would mean you wanted to bang them, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that everybody who embraces somebody else like that, especially amidst such tragic circumstances. You don't know. Maybe she's throwing them hard embraces like that because she's afraid her knees are going to give out on her, because she feels weak, yet she stands so tall and so strong. Is that what bothers you? She's not weakly breaking. Come on, think about that. What really bothers me about this is some of my friends on Facebook that are really jumping on that bandwagon. And some of them are strong women. And I think, ladies, I have seen you cross some treacherous oceans that people could sit there and say, well, it's awfully weird that she got through it like she did. Obviously, she had something of her own going on. Obviously, she was doing this or doing that. I mean, come on now. But instead, we all applauded you and we said, good job. You got this, girl. You go, girl. But now when it's somebody who sits on the opposite side of the debate room from you, now all of a sudden you want to see her broken in a puddle on the floor. Make it make sense. Prove me wrong. Her emotional speeches and her fake tears. Okay. I don't even know really how to address this. I feel like for all of the people, over 8 billion people in the world, and we're going to say that there's a specific way that we should all cry after these specific tragedies. We all have our own life experiences. We have all been through some things. For some people, their purse getting rained on will bring them to tears, will literally melt them into a puddle of slop, unable to continue their day. Okay. For some people, unintended, socially, politically incorrect, unacceptable words will send them into an incredible rage. For some people, it takes unimaginable tragedy for them to even crack a brow. And I wouldn't even want to know the things that that person has seen in their life or experienced in their life. There's just such a variety of people. Like, we are all our own unique individuals and we have our own experiences. And to expect someone, I think that this is what's surprising me right now about society, is the expectations. To expect someone to cry a certain way after something so unimaginable has happened. That's just not something that happens every day. The way Charlie Kirk was assassinated and broadcast, that is not something that happens every day. So for anyone to think that they can place expectations on his, again, newly widowed single mother wife for how much she should be crying or what she should look like while she's crying, or maybe what she should be wearing or not wearing, or like basically I guess she should just be wrapped up in a cocoon, which I can appreciate, with some sort of like lifeline of chocolate ice cream or something, and no ability to be in the world. I don't know. And let's not to say that that's not exactly what she's doing in her quiet moments and behind closed doors. Or maybe she's running from the grief. Maybe it hasn't even actually hit her yet. Maybe she ran straight into these opportunities and these positions so that she wouldn't have to slow down and deal with what's happening in her life. Maybe. And when she does, it is going to be devastating. So maybe give her that grace and that space. And maybe she has. Maybe she's dealt with it. Maybe her and Charlie had already had these conversations in their marriage. Maybe she is not that surprised that this happened. Saddened, but she's not lost. She has a direction. And the idea that she has to be lost because of this tragedy is bogus. She has a right. I can't even believe I have to say that. She has the right to stand on her own 2 feet. She has the right to come back from this stronger. I think a big question people have, there is a third side of this story, right? So you've got the supporters and you've got the critics, and then you also have the people that float in the in-between space where there's just questions. Is her grief a public performance, or is it genuine grief that she is just allowing to be public, that she is sharing with us? For me, that's what I see. I see a broken and vulnerable woman who has an incredible faith in Jesus and a strong relationship with God, and she is being put back together as we speak, and she is allowing us to come along for that process. In my eyes, that is an incredible glory to God, that she is allowing God's light to shine through her broken pieces so that other people walking in tragedy can see that it is possible. You don't have to crumble. You don't have to just lay there and let the world pass you by. You can get up and you can put your next foot forward. And I think that especially in America right now, that is a huge deal. The number of kids, of teenagers that I am hearing that are ending their own lives is epidemic. I think 1 is epidemic, 2 is epidemic. Okay. In teenagers, the number 1 cause of death is car accidents and motor vehicle fatalities. Number 2 is suicide and homicide. That is scary. We are so broken. We should be encouraging this example of overcoming. We should be encouraging this example of grieving. Erika has emotions. She has feelings, and she's letting them out on TV. And whether you think her tears are big enough or not, it doesn't matter. Let her be. It's one of those things. How's the saying go? I mean, I think we all know it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you can't look at her story as it's unfolding right in front of our eyes, and you can't feel one single shred of inspiration, endearment, grace, then you probably need to pray. I know that's not for everybody. Some of you at the very idea feel like your soul just caught on fire. I guess you don't think you have a soul. I don't really know how all that works. But anyway, yeah. If you can't look at this unfold in front of your eyes and you feel the need to be mean or say something negative, that's a you problem. That's a deep-rooted you problem. And I would honestly issue you an invitation. I would love to hear some of your own stories. Drop them in the comments or send them in. It's always better out than in. Send in your stories. Send in stories of times where you've gone through your own identity shift, where you felt judged or rushed, especially in the midst of change or tragedy. So as we close out today, we talked about Erika Kirk, the person, the public story, the conversations surrounding her. More importantly, hopefully we used it as a mirror for our own stories. Maybe there will be a shift as we kind of step back and look at what judgments and stones we're casting. The next episode will be the last episode through the holidays. We'll come back in January with season 2. With that, I am Angela Walker. Until next week, stay reckless, but not too reckless. Be responsibly reckless and kind.
You've been listening to a Wildflower Rooted and Reckless podcast production with Angela Walker. Catch Wildflower drops on Tuesdays, Rooted on Wednesdays, and Reckless on Thursdays. Subscribe wherever you listen. Stay wild, stay rooted, stay reckless.